what's going on? We got a fun one today. It's a short, but it's a heavy one. We got lots of heavy shit on the menu. So, first up is going to be max effort squat. We're doing a barbell box squat. So I actually really liked how the wedge felt on, what was that, Friday? So we're going to do that again. And then we're working up to a 1RM. Previous record was 385. I'm not sure if I can do that today, because I remember last time doing that, how hard that was. But we'll try again. Let's see what we can throw up. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get that situated and go ahead and knock out our first set, at least, with the empty bar. And again, I got the wedge out. You guys probably can't see that since it blends in with the stall mats. And then we're throwing the box on top of it. Give us that nice decline angle. No chains, no bands. Just good old-fashioned raw barbell squat. I might need to bump this up just a little bit. Yeah, there we go. That looks better. That looks better. Perfect. All right, let's throw some 45s on. Feeling pretty good. All right, 275 for 2. And I haven't put a belt on yet because I don't really think it's necessary yet. So we'll put it on for the next one. Everything's feeling pretty good so far. Move the box a little bit. It's okay. Nice. Easy peasy, bro. All right, we're moving into singles territory. So again, former PR was, what I say, 385, I think. I remember how fucking hard that was. And it's mostly just because it's high bar. So the balancing act coming off the box is kind of crazy. Leg strength, I wouldn't really say is the problem. It's the core strength and the balance. So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like we should be able to hit 390, I feel. If not 385 again. We'll see. Because, I mean, like, you know, just like all these max effort days, you really don't know on any given day until you start getting, you know, somewhat close. You start feeling out the reps and you're like, I don't know about that one. Or I'm feeling really good. I'm definitely going to PR. But anyway, 315 territory. So I'm thinking after this, probably like 345, 365, and then 385, depending on how 365 moves. Or maybe like 345 to 370 to 390, something like that maybe. I don't know. We'll see, man. Let's at least get this one done and see what it feels like. Didn't feel too bad, honestly. Felt like it moved pretty fast. All right, we are looking at what is this, 345, I think? 345. I feel like that moved pretty well too. I feel like that was pretty fast. We're going for a PR. We're going to load 390, fucking hit it. All right, are you guys ready? If you can't hear me, it's because I turned up the music. I just need, squats always give me anxiety. Like, I don't care how strong I get at squats. These fuckers always make me so nervous. I fucking hate it. But with that being said, I think squatting is still one of my favorite movements, believe it or not, right behind bench press. So anyway, 390 on the bar, 5-pound PR, man. 370 moved pretty well. I'm feeling confident. I feel strong. Fucking get it, dude. I'm fucking ready. Ooh. That off the box, dude. Off the box. If you don't train box squats, and you're starting to get into them, you want to try training them, it's immediately off the box. That's going to be your downfall. So like, you have that dead stop, right? And that dead stop kills the stretch shortening cycle, because normally you have the reflex, you have the buildup of potential energy as you lower, and then you can kind of rocket yourself off the bottom. Especially if you're a hamstring to calf squatter, you can get some pretty great reflex off the bottom to kind of shoot yourself past that sticking point. The box, you don't have that. You come off the box, and it's a combination of concentric strength, just being able to blast through it on your own, and then also balancing the bar, because if you come too far forward, you lose it. And if you go too far back, you lose it. So you'll notice every time you're doing like a max on a box squat, it's right off the box. It's almost as soon as you leave the box, you're in that mid-range, and it's like you either give up or you got it. It's like that every time. So hell yeah, that felt great. I probably could have squeezed out 395 based off of how that felt. But you know, you guys know how this goes. I take my W's. I don't care about massive PRs. 5-pound PR, bro. Hell yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and strip that down. We're moving into RDLs. We're gonna do wide stance RDLs, reverse banded. So if you haven't used reverse bands before, well, you get to see that in action. And it's a heavy set of 6, I believe, or 5. I can't remember. Anyway, good job, dude. All right, guys. Hopefully you can see this here. So if you're unfamiliar with reverse bands, you've seen banded exercise so far on dynamic effort. This is reverse band. It's vertically loaded here from the top to the bottom instead of from the bottom to the top. And basically all this does is it obviously deloads the bar at the bottom where the band is under maximum stretch. And then obviously the bar increases in load as it gets closer to the anchor point. So we're doing RDLs, right? So that means the easiest part, relatively, is going to be at the bottom. And then the hardest part, relatively, is going to be at the top. Now, I don't want to get too far into it because I am trying to finish up here at a reasonable time. Squats took a while. And so basically a lot of people think that reverse bands or banding exercise is pointless because the part of the movement where the muscles are under maximum length, max tension, you get the most potential growth, is being deloaded. However, it's all relative. Because the bottom is being deloaded and I have a mechanical advantage at the top, I can load more weight on the bar. And so the resistance profile, again, if you're familiar with all this, instead of having peak tension at the bottom and then it levels out and almost maybe becomes non-existent towards the top, again, because of the advantage you have, the bands make it to where this tension occurs, peak tension, and then it kind of remains pretty steady throughout the movement. Or at least there's less of a severe drop-off. It's a little more level. And so again, that doesn't make the bottom easier because it's all relative. You put more weight on the bar, the bottom is still fucking hard, but the top is also hard. Instead of hard at the bottom, easy at the top. Especially when you consider the concentric itself is what produces growth, not time spent at the bottom. Because if that was the case, you would just barely pick the bar up off the ground and just hang there and make gains. But no one does it because it doesn't work. Right? So anyway, trying not to rant. We're going to go ahead and scale probably all the way up to 405 for a PR. But we'll kind of see how it goes. My wide stance RDL is obviously stronger than my close. Just like my wide stance deadlift is better than my close. But I am trying to work on that. So we'll kind of see. Because 395 was also a while ago. So I might not be as strong. Just like how I was aiming for what was it, like 375 or something on our RDLs, like, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? I think it was 2 weeks ago. And 335 kicked my ass. So, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, that's not the point. And it is 5, by the way. Speaking of our progressions here, I'm going to go 225, 315, 365, and then 405. I'm not going to jump straight to 405. I think that's fucking dumb. So, but we'll kind of see how this feels. Whenever I do heavy loaded wide stance RDLs, the sensation that you get like on your hamstring and your adductor just feels like sketchy territory, bro. And so I always have to go super slow on these, just to make sure that, like, you know, nothing happens. Not that I think anything would happen. It's just like, you know, you automatically have reactions to stuff when stuff doesn't feel right. You know what I mean? Call it a intuition. And straps will go on eventually, but not yet. Not bad. Whew. No straps yet, no belt. I don't think I need it. I say that now, of course, but we'll see. Hook started to give out there because my hands are sweaty. Yeah, it didn't feel too bad. Woo! Easy peasy, bro. I just realized I didn't tell you what was going on. SSB Bulgarians for 6. We are using a hand assist here, so Hatfield, if you're familiar with that. Hatfield version. Heavy sets of 6, man. We're going up to like 248, hopefully. Previous record was 238. Hand assist makes it super easy. But after everything we've done, you know, legs are a little toasty, so we'll see. Nice and easy so far. Final warm up before 248. And again, it's not like, you know, this is like an actual warm up in the sense that like I have to warm up. It's just that you're not going to jump straight to 248 from 0. That's fucking stupid. Like there has to be some sort of progression to get there. Obviously, the stronger you are in any given lift, you can make bigger jumps. So, you know, like a deadlift, for example, if you're deadlifting 500 pounds, do you have to fuck around with 95, 135, 185, 205? No, just fucking get up there. You know what I mean? But like if your max is 250, you're probably going to fuck around a little bit at the lower weights. You're not going to jump straight from empty bar to 225 or 135 to 225. Maybe you can, depending on your confidence, but most of the time you do want at least some mini form of progression to get there. And you don't even have to do the same amount of reps the whole time. You know what I mean? Like you could do sets of 3 or whatever to get there. You don't have to do, you know, 6, for example, all the way up. I do just because I like accumulating the volume, because I only do 1 set anyway. So I do like to accumulate that volume somehow. I could probably go up a little bit on these handles, but might be a little low. One more. Last one. 248 on the bar. I'm gonna throw some collars on. Collar an even 250, and to prevent these babies from sliding off, just in case. You never know. Freak accidents occur all the time. I'm putting some collars on. 6 reps. I did move the band pegs up a little bit because it felt like I was trying too hard to reach low. And with the SSB, you do want to keep the upper back up and the handles up. You don't want the handles down, contrary to popular belief. You do want the handles up. Look. Six reps, man, that's it. Just 6. I'm gonna do weak side first, because I always forget until the last set. And take a little mini break here between sides. Told you it was a mini break. Oh, not bad, dude. Not bad. Hey guys, this is a single leg back extension. It's a little awkward. Just because I prefer to do single leg back extensions off a GHD, because it oddly enough feels way more natural. Doing a single leg off of a 45-degree back extension, it's doable, but it does feel weird, especially because this one's slanted on the inside. So, but I typically use the rear foot as just a support here, so you'll see it pushed up against the wall just so I don't go sliding. And then obviously I'm pulling with the leg that's down. We got 90 pounds here, and I'm looking for 8.
Oh. Oh yeah. Nice. Oh, nice. That's it. Done deal. Fuck. Whew.
Hello. Greetings. Ugh. Yeah, just the one set. And speaking of that, some workouts I'll do 3, 4, 5 sets of like pumpy stuff. And then other times I'll do loaded accessories like that, where it's the same as everything else. It's an 8 RM, 10 RM, whatever. You just go for broke. Ugh. Because like I've mentioned in the past, volume beats the shit out of me. So if I'm loading something, I'll normally just do the one set, maybe 2 if the first one wasn't that bad. But like this one, like I could feel failure was probably at 9 or 10. And yeah, it's just the one set, done, bro. Because again, like everything else, you know, what am I going to do? Multiple warm-up sets to get to that? Or rather just go straight there. I'm fucking warm, dude. We've done a whole fucking workout. You know what I mean? So it's not a whole lot to do. Just go for a PR. Send it. Anyway, week 3, bro, I'm feeling good, dude. I'm telling you, when the max effort week or session starts with a squat, it's anxiety inducing. But dude, heavy squats, man, there's just something about it, dude. Really sets the tone for the week. I fucking love it. But anyway, I'm not gonna yap too much because I got stuff to do. I'm a busy man this week. So, thanks for hanging out. It was a long session. Kicked our ass, but we survived. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the videos. Conjugate is so fucking fun, dude. I hope you guys are really enjoying it. Anyway, that's all. I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.